Intellectual and Psychological Journey of Albert Ellis, Adversity to Innovation to Develop REBT. Albert Ellis, a pioneering figure in the world of psychotherapy, embarked on a transformative journey that led him away from psychoanalysis and toward the development of Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy, REBT. This short video explores some of the multifaceted influences that shaped Ellis's path, ranging from philosophical insights to personal hardships, and explores how REBT has become an influential force in reducing human suffering and transforming the field of psychotherapy. The personal development of Albert Ellis. Albert Ellis's early childhood was marked by very significant challenges and hardships that would profoundly shape his worldview and later contribute to the development of Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy, REBT. Born on September 27, 1913, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Ellis grew up in a troubled family environment. His parents' marriage was tumultuous, marked by constant arguments and emotional turmoil. Ellis often found solace in books, immersing himself in literature as a means of escape from the chaos at home. One of the most impactful experiences of his youth was a bout with childhood illnesses, including nephritis and a life-threatening kidney infection. These illnesses left him physically frail and socially isolated, as he was unable to engage in typical childhood activities. This isolation heightened his sense of loneliness and led to the development of social anxiety. However, it was during this period of illness and isolation that Ellis developed a keen interest in philosophy and psychology. He became an avid reader, exploring the works of philosophers like Aristotle, Spinoza, and the Stoic philosophers, whose teachings emphasized rational thinking and emotional resilience. These early intellectual pursuits sowed the seeds for the later development of REBT, which would place a strong emphasis on the role of rationality in emotional well-being. Two events that greatly impacted Albert Ellis. Overcoming shyness at the Botanical Gardens. Albert Ellis's journey toward overcoming his shyness was a testament to his determination and the early seeds of REBT taking root in his life. As a young man, Ellis grappled with intense social anxiety, which was exacerbated by his difficult childhood. Determined to break free from the grip of his shyness, Ellis devised a systematic plan to confront his fears. One of Ellis's innovative strategies was to visit the New York Botanical Garden regularly. He chose this setting intentionally, as it provided a safe and controlled environment for social interactions. Ellis would approach young women who were also visiting the gardens, engaging them in conversation about the plants and flowers around them. He would ask each of them out on a date, but nearly all of them rejected his offer. This approach allowed him to gradually desensitize himself to the fear of rejection and judgment. Over time, Ellis's self-imposed exposure therapy at the Botanical Gardens began to yield positive results. He realized that many of the negative beliefs and anxieties that had held him back were rooted in irrational thinking. This personal experiment not only helped him overcome his shyness but also provided valuable insights into the role of beliefs and thoughts in shaping emotions and behaviors. It was a pivotal step on his path to developing REBT, where the connection between thoughts and emotions became a central focus of his therapeutic approach. The client conversation that sparked a revolution in psychotherapy. Albert Ellis's work as a practicing psychotherapist played a crucial role in the evolution of REBT. One particular conversation with a client stands out as a turning point in his understanding of the relationship between events and emotional disturbances. During a therapy session, a client expressed intense distress over being rejected by a romantic partner. Ellis listened carefully to the client's emotional outpouring but noticed that the client's reaction far exceeded the circumstances of the rejection itself. The client was devastated, feeling utterly worthless and unlovable. In probing further, Ellis began to question the client's thought process. He asked, "Why do you believe that this rejection means you're worthless as a person?" The client's response was a revelation. "Because if someone doesn't love me, it must mean I'm unlovable." This exchange led Ellis to a profound insight. It wasn't the event of rejection itself that was causing the client's emotional turmoil, but rather the irrational belief that the rejection implied inherent worthlessness. This realization became a foundational principle of REBT, that it's not events themselves that largely cause our emotional disturbances, but our beliefs and thoughts about those events. This epiphany marked a crucial turning point in Ellis's career and the development of REBT. It underscored the need to challenge and change irrational beliefs as a means of achieving emotional well-being. From that point forward, Ellis focused on helping individuals identify and replace irrational beliefs with rational ones, ultimately empowering them to lead more emotionally healthy lives. The intellectual development of Albert Ellis. Breaking free from shoulds. The influence of Karen Horney and the tyranny of shoulds. One of the pivotal turning points in Albert Ellis's journey was his encounter with the work of psychoanalyst Karen Horney. Horney's critique of the tyranny of the shoulds resonated deeply with Ellis. He began to question the rigid and unrealistic expectations people often place on themselves, a theme that would become central to the philosophy of REBT. Stoic philosophy, the rational foundation of REBT. Ellis was profoundly influenced by the ancient Stoic philosophers, particularly Epictetus, who emphasized the role of rational thinking in emotional well-being. This Stoic influence played a pivotal role in shaping the cognitive restructuring techniques that are now central to REBT. Adler's individual psychology, a psychological framework for REBT. Alfred Adler's work on individual psychology also left a mark on Ellis's evolving therapeutic approach. Adler's emphasis on the significance of individual perception and the role of self-beliefs resonated with Ellis's own growing conviction that thoughts and beliefs were key determinants of human emotions and behaviors. The personal struggles of Albert Ellis, a non-ideal childhood and early rejection. Albert Ellis's personal life was marked by hardship and adversity. Raised in a dysfunctional family, he battled social anxiety and low self-esteem throughout his youth. These early struggles fueled his passion to develop more effective forms of therapy, which led to the birth of REBT. However, when he first presented his ideas to the American Psychological Association in the 1950s, he faced rejection and skepticism from the psychological establishment. However, he pushed on and developed an internationally famous and highly effective form of psychotherapy. What was the psychotherapy model Albert Ellis developed? The ABCD model of REBT. At the heart of REBT lies the ABCD model, a framework that helps individuals understand the interplay between their thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. This model consists of the following elements. A. Activating event. This represents the external situation or trigger that initiates a person's emotional response. B. Belief system. The beliefs or thoughts that individuals hold about the activating event. C. Consequences. These are the emotional and behavioral outcomes resulting from their beliefs. D. Disputing irrational beliefs. In REBT, the goal is to identify and challenge irrational beliefs that lead to dysfunctional emotions and behaviors. E. New effect. Through disputing irrational beliefs and replacing them with rational ones, individuals can experience new, more functional emotional and behavioral outcomes. 2. Functional versus dysfunctional emotions. In REBT, emotions are classified into two categories, functional and dysfunctional. Functional emotions are seen as healthy responses to life's challenges, such as sadness in response to a loss or fear in the face of real danger. Dysfunctional emotions, on the other hand, arise from irrational beliefs and can lead to unnecessary suffering. For example, extreme anxiety or depression triggered by irrational thoughts can be classified as dysfunctional emotions. 3. Functional/rational versus dysfunctional/irrational beliefs. Beliefs play a central role in the ABCD model of REBT. Functional or rational beliefs are flexible, realistic, and based on evidence. They promote adaptive emotions and behaviors. In contrast, dysfunctional or irrational beliefs are rigid, unrealistic, and not supported by evidence. These beliefs often lead to dysfunctional emotions and behaviors. 4. The role of beliefs in emotional development. REBT places particular emphasis on beliefs as the primary driver of emotional responses. It posits that our beliefs about an event, rather than the event itself, determine our emotional reactions. Inferences, interpretations, and evaluations are considered secondary to core beliefs in the emotional equation. V. Functional versus dysfunctional behaviors. Just as there are functional and dysfunctional emotions, REBT distinguishes between functional and dysfunctional behaviors. Functional behaviors are those that align with rational beliefs and promote well-being. Dysfunctional behaviors, conversely, stem from irrational beliefs and can hinder personal growth and fulfillment, and which have a tendency to hinder the development of desired life goals, whether small or large. 6. BC connection versus AC connection. One distinctive feature of REBT is its emphasis on the BC, belief consequence, connection rather than the AC, activating event consequence, connection. While traditional approaches often focus on changing external events, A. REBT concentrates on transforming the beliefs, B. about those events that shape our emotional and behavioral responses, C. This shift in perspective empowers individuals to manage their reactions more effectively. 7. Replacing dysfunctional emotions with functional ones. Unlike some therapeutic approaches that aim to merely reduce the intensity of negative emotions, REBT seeks to replace dysfunctional emotions with functional ones. By disputing irrational beliefs and adopting rational ones, individuals can experience more adaptive emotional responses, leading to improved well-being. REBT's global impact: reducing human suffering and shaping psychotherapy. Despite facing early rejection, Albert Ellis's unwavering dedication to REBT ultimately paid off. The therapy model gained international recognition for its effectiveness in addressing emotional distress and improving psychological well-being. Beyond individual success stories, REBT's influence has extended to the broader field of psychotherapy. REBT has played a foundational role in the emergence of second and third-wave behavioral models. These models, including cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, dialectical behavioral therapy, DBT, and acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, have drawn inspiration from REBT's emphasis on cognitive restructuring, emotional regulation, and the importance of self-awareness. REBT's global impact is evidenced by its widespread adoption in diverse cultures and countries. Its pragmatic approach to addressing irrational beliefs and fostering emotional resilience has made it a powerful tool for reducing human suffering on a global scale. Beyond traditional therapy, REBT principles have been applied in educational settings, corporate training, and personal development programs, further extending its reach. Conclusion: Albert Ellis's challenging childhood, marked by family discord, physical illnesses, and social isolation, provided him with first-hand insights into the power of thoughts and beliefs in shaping emotions and behaviors. His early intellectual exploration of philosophy and psychology laid the groundwork for his development of REBT, as he began to recognize the potential for rational thinking to alleviate emotional suffering. These formative experiences would ultimately drive his lifelong mission to help individuals confront irrational beliefs and find more adaptive ways of navigating life's challenges. Albert Ellis's journey from psychoanalysis to the development of REBT was marked by a convergence of philosophical, scientific, psychological, and personal influences. His innovative approach has transcended borders and significantly reduced human suffering by offering practical tools to confront irrational beliefs and lead more fulfilling lives. The legacy of REBT continues to thrive, leaving an indelible mark on the field of psychotherapy and offering hope to individuals seeking emotional and psychological transformation.